Merry meet everybody, Kind Theory here. Today's Monday video. Today I wanted to, I don't know, I've done probably one or two videos on this subject before, but views changed and everything like that. So I wanted to do a video specifically talking about the Book of Shadows and the craft. Now, first things first. Book of Shadows is not an ancient term, it's not been around for God knows how long. Book of Shadows was turned up by Gerald Gardner. It was the name of his grimoire. Grimoire is a spell book or like a textbook instruction manual kind of thing you make to how to do rituals, how to do spells, etc. So Book of Shadows, which I know some people do this, they'll take the term and use it even though they don't like Wicca and they kind of bash it, which I find funny. But anyway, Book of Shadows belongs to Wicca. The word came from Wicca. Onwards. The Book of Shadows is a little different from a grimoire. A grimoire is just a pure spell book, instruction booklet, how to conjure spirits, stuff like that. As opposed to a Book of Shadows. The Book of Shadows contains like the witches' beliefs or the Wiccans' beliefs, their deities and everything like that. It's more personalized. A grimoire is kind of like a textbook in a way, to me at least. So, what to include in your Book of Shadows? Your Book of Shadows is personal to you. You can put whatever the hell you want in it. You see a picture in a magazine you like of a certain person or goddess or some kind of image, smack it in there with glue. Your Book of Shadows can be made out of anything you want. This is my Book of Shadows. Draco bought this for me for my 23rd birthday, which I changed it quite a bit. Before it had a dragon emblem on it. That came off, so I'm like, decided to keep it off because the front of this is not solid. It's kind of flimsy leather, so it's not a good idea to have anything glued on this in the first place. So I decided to just take the tree and color it in with silver marker and whatnot. I'm not fully done filling it up. It's like about right here full. I also just have random shit in the back and whatnot. But anyway, it doesn't have to be a fancy book like this. It can be your Book of Shadows. This is another one I'm working on. It's like it looks like a fucking teenager's, like 16-year-old girl teenager's book. I literally took an actual book, The Privilege of Youth, whatever it's called, because this is some shitty book I didn't care for, and started turning it into a Book of Shadows. You can take it, and in the pages, you can literally sit there and just like glue random shit in there, glue notebook pages and shit like that. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't trying to make it sound like I was negative at the beginning of the video. I'm just stating that the term Book of Shadows came from Wicca. Came from Wicca. It was Gerald Gardner's, the name of his book, his grimoire. Now, grimoire, oof, the history of it's a little obscured. It's, yeesh. A grimoire has been used since I don't know how long, for a long, long time. Whatnot. So, trying to think, because I can't think right now. Book of Shadows, let's get back to it. Book of Shadows, like I said, for beginners, I recommend, like, what I did when I first started the craft. I had a composition notebook, and I just turned that into my grimoire, Book of Shadows. There's like dust or something. Turned that into my grimoire. You can even turn a 3-ring notebook, like one of those 3-ring spiral notebooks. You can turn that into a Book of Shadows, which I recommend. That's what you should start out with. Then eventually you can turn it into a binder, which a lot of witches and Wiccans, I noticed they use a binder, 3-ring binder, and just put the little what do you call those? The little cover plastic sheets that you put over it, and dividers, and turn that into a book of shadows. I've had a book of shadows like that before. You could like get a fancy leather bound book like this, but you don't have to. This bad boy, I think it was like $100 something. Was it 100 or was it 80? It was somewhere around that range. Excuse me. What I would recommend putting in your book of shadows: put your rituals, put your spells, put your experience. You don't have to put your experiences. I prefer not to do that. I have a separate journal for that to write down all my experiences of the craft. But don't just put random rituals in your book of shadows, like random ass spells. Only put rituals and spells that you have done or have experimented with that have worked for you. If it doesn't work for you, don't put it in your book. Because it's literally a journal, kind of like a journal of your experiences of the craft and what worked for you and what hasn't worked for you. Now, if you want to, you can put spells in there, maybe like for future generations and shit. But I would recommend putting what worked for you in your book of shadows. Put information about your deities, if you work with any. Put information about the tools, the phases of the moon, herbal correspondences, everything like that. Put all your stuff in here. What else? Like, hold on, let me show an example of a deity page. Like this page right here, this is to my deity, Thoth, however someone pronounces it. I pronounce it Thoth. I've worked with him for years, and he's been with me for many years. He's even over there on my ancestor altar right there. I also have a page to Isis, who's my main goddess right now. She's sitting on my main altar. And Osiris. Like for deity pages, make sure to put their colors, their symbols, sacred days to them, what offerings worked for you, or offerings and whatnot. Make sure to put their mythology, put their history in here. Which I need to work on Nephthys' information. And Hecate. I love that picture of Hecate. She's also on my ancestor altar, which you can't see because that bottle's in the way. But that's pretty much it. And don't forget to, like, the Sabbats. If you celebrate the Sabbats. I know some Wiccans or witches don't do Sabbats. But that's pretty much the gist of it. What to do with your book of shadows. I need to really write this shit down before I begin this shit. But anyway, that was this video. Leave suggestions down at the bottom of the video, and I will do that video on Wednesday. I'll pick a topic out of all the topics that are suggested and go from there. And I'm going to keep doing that from now on. Every video I upload, I'm going to say leave a suggestion at the bottom of the box, and I'll do that the next day. So videos will be uploaded every Monday, every Wednesday, and every, did I say Friday? Yeah, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there will be a video uploaded. So until next time, merry part and blessed be.